It's another Sunday in Wales. The skies are grey, rain is imminent. This must mean it's a postcard and a pint day out. Today we're off to Chirk near Wrexham to see an aqueduct, visit a castle, and if you're really good, you can have Sunday lunch and a discount off a MagStand, all thrown in. If you don't know us, I'm Rachel, he's Wills, and we are Postcard and a Pint. So grab your best anorak and let's be having a grand day out in Chirk. Our first stop was to be the Chirk Aqueduct. Again, another place 30 minutes drive away that we've never visited. We parked up by Barbara, morning Barbara, and the police station, and the parking was free. Result. It's then just a short walk down the road to the well signposted path. Ah, you've got to love a good autumn walk in the Wrexham countryside. There's a canal, there's a tunnel, and there's an aqueduct. This one isn't as high as nearby Chirk Castle and is wider, so doesn't feel half as scary to cross. And when you do cross it, you end up in England. Some facts please, Rach.
Chirk Aqueduct towers 21 metres above the River Ceiriog, and when it opened in 1801, it was the highest waterway in the world.
It sits next to the Chirk Railway Viaduct, which was designed by Henry Robertson in 1848. The aqueduct, however, is far older.
It was designed by two of the greatest engineers of the time, William Jessop and Mr. Thomas Telford.
This aqueduct is now Grade 2 listed in both England and Wales and forms part of the Chirk Castle World Heritage Site. Both of these bridges are breathtaking feats of engineering, with their towering arches offering stunning views of the Ceiriog Valley below. And just like that, you're back in Wales. The weather may have been damp, but that certainly hadn't put people off enjoying the canal and sailing across the aqueduct high up in the sky. But more about the tunnel, if you please.
Chirk Tunnel is one of the first canal tunnels in Britain to have a towpath on the inside, meaning that they didn't have to leg it through the tunnel.
Legging was a method of getting a boat through the tunnel whilst the horse was led over the hill. Two people would lie on a plank across the bows of the boat and would literally have their feet on the walls of the tunnel and walk the boat through. But none of that here, and it's time to move on. But first, for something a little different.
Now, the lovely people at Kraft Geek have sent us a MagStand to try out. I'm going to let Wills do all the technical stuff about it. But for me, one of the best things about it is it fits in my rucksack.
Here we go, really easy to use. Push button in to release the legs, like so. Yep, there we go. Open this up. Flip up the old debris, pull this down, tripod legs out, 1m63, job's a good one.
Not sure what a debris is, but it has a very strong magnet attachment. That bad boy's going nowhere. Ooh, that's a long pole, Wills.
So not only is it a brilliant stand for static stuff, you can also take it on the go as a selfie stick. It's really lightweight. No more achy arms for us.
It also comes with this clever little Bluetooth remote, which unclips like this. All you do, you sync it to your phone via Bluetooth. It's got a little button on it. Push the button, starts recording. Push the button, stops recording, like this.
It also comes with a light attachment that we don't have yet, but we're going to invest.
The MagStand is really great and I can see us using this a lot. And if you too would like one, go to the description below where we've popped a link to the store, a link to Amazon US, and if you use the discount code POSTCARD, you can get a cheeky discount. Next up, the castle.
It was only a 5-minute drive, and then we came across these incredible 18th century gates. They were the work of the Davis brothers of Wrexham, who created them for the Middleton family in 1719. This castle is different to a lot of others in North Wales, as it was sold and lived in, but more about that later. Once you've parked your car, you head inside to get your ticket. It is quite pricey, but what's this?
Now there's a turn up for the books. We've just got in for free. Result. This property is owned by National Trust. We are CADU members, but because CADU used to own this property, they still allow CADU members in for free, but not for much longer. But we've saved £16 each.
Result. That means we can have Sunday dinner later. There are quite a few shops selling some gorgeous local crafts. From Chirk Ale to Wrexham Lager, from jams and chutneys to Christmas wine. Don't worry, Wills was restrained and nothing Christmas was bought. You can then either walk up to the castle or get the complimentary shuttle bus. As it wasn't far, we walked past this cool building from the 1920s, a squash court for one of the kids, as you do. It's only a 5-minute walk up to the castle and not too difficult at all. But why is this castle in such good condition when it dates back to the 14th century? A little history, if you would please, Rach.
This castle was instructed to be built by Edward the River Straightening first, and if you don't know what that means, check out last week's vlog of Rhuddlan. It was completed in 1310, and we can't wait to take a look inside.
Let's go. In 1593, the castle was bought by Thomas Middleton for £5,000. That's 18 million as of 2024. Windows were installed in the 16th and 17th centuries, and although the castle sustained damage in the English Civil War, it's been rebuilt and passed down through the generations of the Middleton family. This is the Cromwell Hall. It was once a dining room for household staff. We thought this staircase looked very Christmassy. There are quite an array of collected items, including this old wooden water pipe from London's first clean water supply. This is the main dining room. It feels so very grand. Next door is the saloon and displays some of the family's finest furniture. This harpsichord dates back to 1742. This is the drawing room, and today it has a display of family portraits and a fine view over the gardens. Next is the long gallery. It's full of portraits and was a pleasant place to stroll when the weather was being Welsh. In more recent years, Guy Middleton learned to ride his bike here. Cool. This is the King's bedroom, where King Charles I may have slept. Then it's through to the chapel. In the 20th century, Lady Howard de Walden changed its use to a music room and would give concerts here. It also houses the guest book that many well-known visitors have signed. No, not you. Then it was back outside and a quick look at the lower floor of the East Wing. Today there are 5 rooms of course you did, interactive displays aimed at children. We had one last place to visit. No, not the cafe, the Adam Tower. In the Adam Tower, you'll see signs of the castle's medieval past, as this is the oldest surviving part of Chirk Castle. The tower was clearly built for defence, as the walls are 5 metres thick. Amongst all the historical displays you'll find...
These here are the murder holes, and back in the day when people used to try and get in the entrance, they used to lob stones at them.
Stones, rocks, boiling water, or arrows out of the windows. It wasn't easy to invade this castle. At the end of the 2nd floor are thought to be Sir Thomas Middleton's own chambers. The walls show mythical creatures and animals Thomas Middleton's sailors saw on their voyages. We made our way downstairs and were sad to find that the dungeons were closed this day. But there was still some cool displays to look at, and then it was out into the garden. The gardens are 5.5 acres of lush greenery and colourful blooms. The topiary are supposed to resemble Welsh ladies' hats. That certainly wasn't the first thing that sprang to mind. These gardens are meticulously maintained, and throughout the year many events are held both in the castle and its gardens. We felt a bit sorry for her, unable to see this beautiful view. Next we found the Hawk House. It once housed the Middletons' collection of falconry. Today just Mr. Timothy Robin was there, hopping about. Lastly, we visited the statue of Hercules and his big pole wheels. Then it was time to head back to the car because...
That's us all done at the castle. We're now going to head into Chirk to see what's there.
Food, that better be what's there. I'm starving.
No, we didn't take the shuttle bus. We walked down the hill and made our way out of these extensive grounds towards Chirk. Hand Hotel, do you have lunch? Excellent. Now, we hadn't booked, but they squeezed us in, and we were very glad they did, as this was the best carvery we'd had for ages. Don't be shy, young man. That'll be 1 beef dinner and 1 turkey dinner with all the trimmings. Man, they didn't last long. Right, Wills, are you ready to explore again? Chirk isn't the largest town going, but it has a nice war memorial, plenty of places to eat and drink, a teddy bear's tea room, a lovely looking bistro, and we think these houses may be historical, but we don't know why. The Church of St Mary sits at the bottom of the High Street. The original church that occupied this site was begun during the 11th century. The church was extended in 1519, and most of this building now dates from that time and later. Harvest Festival looked like it had been in full swing. Outside, it is still possible to make out the imprint of an older door or window. This church is definitely worth a visit if you're ever in Chirk. Directly opposite is this old Georgian townhouse called the Mount. Right, moving on, Chirk was also a stop on the main coaching route from Holyhead to London. It seems Chirk High Street is doing pretty well. The cake kitchen is doing well. The Asian wok is, burnt. But they have a fair few shops and plenty of cafes. There is also this lovely park dedicated to Billy Meredith, who was born here in Chirk and was one of football's first superstars. It's a lovely green space, has a skate park for the kids and has some very unusual plants. We're not going to lie, there isn't really a lot in Chirk Town, bar the main high street, but we'd enjoyed our visit to Chirk and its sights. Over to you, Rach.
What a lovely day out we've had. We'll see you back at home for a catch-up.
We're back and it's a few days later, and wasn't that a lovely day out?
It was fab.
Yeah, it was a bit damp, but it didn't chuck it down till we were on our way home, so jobs are good. And what was your favourite bit?
Probably the aqueduct and the viaduct. We've not been there before.
No,
It was really cool, wasn't it?
It was really, really cool. And unlike the one at Llan Gothlen, Pont Castle, it's not quite as high, and it's got more, like, it's got land on the other side of the canal.
Not such a sheer
Just
drop
not a
off the
sheer
end,
drop.
is it?
I have a problem with the Pont Castle one, but that one, easy peasy to walk
nice
over, and it
fun.
was lovely to fly the drone and see them both spanning the Ceiliog Valley.
As we were flying the drone, you don't see it in the video, but this chap was walking along and he was looking at it and pointing, and all these kids were pointing.
Yeah.
And he came over and we started showing him all the pictures. He was fascinated by it. It was good, wasn't it?
You look like your Uncle Neil.
He did look like my Uncle Neil.
The castle, that was lovely. We've never seen a castle of Edward I's castle that has been lived in.
Been renovated
after,
and
renovated.
lifted, yeah.
It was cool. I think I prefer a ruin.
I prefer a
ruin
ruin
to be
too.
honest, but it was really cool to see what they'd done with it. Some of it's original. I think in the English Civil War, a lot of it got destroyed, was rebuilt. That Adam Tower's got the oldest bit, hasn't it?
It was such a shame the dungeon was closed.
Oh, yeah,
I really wanted to see that.
Because that's in the old bit. It would have been really cool.
It reminded me a bit of Penryn Castle. We've got a video of Penryn
Yeah.
Castle if you haven't seen it. But Penryn Castle was a lot more modern. I think it was 1800, something like that.
But no, that was really, really cool. I enjoyed
Yeah.
that. The gardens are beautiful.
Are they?
And they have loads of events in the summer.
And those hedges, you said, they didn't look like Welsh ladies' hats. I won't tell you what she said they looked like.
I think they
Let's
guessed.
just say little acorns.
I think they've guessed. And on to our MagStand.
Our MagStand's really cool, yeah.
Really cool piece of kit. Really lightweight. Often when
Once
we're
I've worked out how
walking-
to use it.
Yeah, can't say, like when we walk normally and you have, what do we normally have for phone? Is it just your
Just a
arm?
little GoPro or
Yeah, on the length of your arm. It's
Yeah.
really nice now to be able to have 1 metre, whatever it is.
1m63,
And it's
64 inches.
so you say. And it's really, really light. And it works as a stand as well.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Really
it's
useful bit of kit.
really useful bit of kit. So do get yourself one.
And
They're
it
not
comes with a light,
expensive.
well, it doesn't
Yeah.
come with a light, but there's a light as an added extra.
Yeah.
I bought that yesterday with the same discount code as well, actually.
Yeah.
So if you stick in postcard down and you want to buy any more accessories on their website, I think it still works.
All over my
Little hack
Facebook
for you.
site at the moment, they're doing music stands. Mag music stands all
Yeah,
over my Facebook.
yeah.
I don't know why that's on today, but I don't know, maybe postcard works for that as well if you fancy a music stand.
Maybe.
But I highly recommend that. It's going to be a really useful piece of kit. I think we're going to take it out in a couple of weeks. We're meeting up with some other channels.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to take it with us, see what they think of it as well. A bit more of a rounded review.
Absolutely.
Right. Oh, Sunday lunch.
Sunday, it was a good in the Hand Hotel. really nice
the
carvery, wasn't
best Sunday lunch we have had for weeks.
it? It was a Christmas dinner, wasn't it?
Well, yours
Well,
was.
the turkey one was.
But it was good fun. Let's wrap this up. So if you'd like this video, that would be
If you'd
fantastic.
hit that like button, if you do the comments, if you hit the subscribe, all of that kind of thing. If you
Helps
feel
the
you can
channel.
support the channel, we do have a Patreon. We put stuff on there from time to time.
Yeah.
Every month, in fact.
do indeed.
All manner of stuff. But anyway, a like and a comment is good enough.
I haven't got a drink right now because I've got to go back out to work, so this is mine.
I haven't. Very quickly before we go.
what?
By the time you see this, we'll
yes.
probably be on our way back from London, or
Yes.
still in London, because we're going down there tomorrow.
Yes, we are.
To start filming our Halloween special.
Ooh,
we did mention it a
spooky.
few weeks back, but it's going to be a bit of a Jack the Ripper themed type
Lovely.
thing.
Can't
spooky.
wait. Right, here we go.
Good stuff.
As we say,
In postcard and a pint, without your drink. Cheers to the good times. I read the other day that the first two people on the earth were actually Cockneys.
Really?
Yeah, would you Adam and Eve it?
Oh.